Hello, and thanks for tuning in. If you want to see how I achieved this look, stay tuned. This is the makeup look that I would wear if I was going to interview or if I was going to be interviewed. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about how I frame my face, but it's important that you consult with a makeup artist so then that way you can learn how to best shape your face. I will talk about all of the products that I use and I will link them below, and let's get started. So I'm starting off with a clean face and I'm grabbing my hair tie because there's no way I could do this with my curls and my face. All right, we're looking like we're good to go. And I also have this wonderful band. This is a Mary Kay brand band, but you could use anything just to keep the makeup out of your hair. And I'm getting that as close to my hairline as possible. The first step in any makeup routine should be a primer. I'm using Mary Kay's foundation primer today, and this really just sets the base for the entire makeup look. Getting an even coat everywhere, and then moving on. So now I'm doing color correcting, and I'm using the NYX color correcting palette. This was like $5, one of my favorites. And I'm taking the green to offset red spots. And it's almost like they disappear after I drop my brush. And yes, my nickname is Grace, and that was a prime example of why that's the case. Next, I'm just taking a beauty blender and blending this out. Once again, the goal here is just to get rid of the red marks on my face. And don't be scared because the green will be covered up by your foundation, and I'm using the Fit Me foundation in the dewy form. There is a matte form as well that I really love. I think Fit Me is such a great brand. It's actually a dupe of MAC, which a lot of people may not know. And so the goal with your foundation now is just to blend and pat and get it all throughout your face. The more you blend, the better off you will be. And as you can see, I'm not rubbing, I am actually like patting this on my face. And I should say also that my beauty blender is a little damp. That helps to make sure that the sponge doesn't absorb the makeup and that it actually goes on your face. And we just keep blending until we can't blend anymore. Moving on now to a concealer. I'm using the Youngblood concealer, which is one of my favorites. It's very creamy, very pigmented. I'm a big fan of it. And I just put this under my eyes in kind of a triangle shape, and then on the middle of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And my concealer is just a little bit brighter than my face because I want to use it more so for a highlighting effect. Really, it just helps to give some definition to your face. And if you're unsure of what color would be best, stop in at Sephora and tell them, hey, I want to do more of a highlight on my concealer than just a normal concealer, and they will help you out. Now I'm taking a fluffy brush and some Mary Kay setting powder. And the goal with this is to do sort of a baking method. And using powder over a cream concealer really just helps to set the makeup in place. So you let this sit for a little bit, and then I'm now moving on to my brows. And I do nothing really exciting with my brows. I really don't. This is just a 99-cent brown brush that I got from a beauty supply store. Keep it sharpened. I know there are brow kits and brow gels out there, but I will show you how I clean this up in just a bit. Also, this is a reminder that your brows are supposed to be sisters and not twins. So now I'm going back in with my Youngblood concealer, and I'm actually going to carve out my brows. This is a perfect way to make your brows look fresh if you haven't gotten a wax in a while, kind of like me with the whole pandemic that's been going on. It actually helps hide some of the hairs, but on top of that, it really just helps you clean up the shaping. and just pat that out with your beauty blender, so that way you do not see the streaks of concealer, because that's really not a look. That's not the look that we're going for, at least. And I went back into the middle just to clean that up just a bit. But if you see them now, they are doing their thing. And so next, I'm taking the Sephora Mixology palette. I've had this for a very long time, as you can probably see. And I dipped into more of the nude color, really just to set the base for my eyes. The goal here is also not to rub, but to pat, and to go in as many times as you need for the pigment. Next, I didn't show you the color, I'm an amateur here, but I am just taking a nude shimmery color to put on the middle of my lid. This is just a beautiful way to accent your eye. And lastly, I take a darker brown shade to go on the outer parts of my eye. The goal here is just to blend, blend, blend to make it look nice. And the darker color on the outer corner of your eye really just gives it some more definition. And you can easily clean up if you need to with some concealer and some powder. So next, I'm taking my tried and true, and the lid continues to fall, my Anastasia powder contour kit, and I'm taking an angled brush and just going where my cheekbones actually are. I always feel like when people contour, they don't necessarily do it correctly. You're supposed to go with the natural lines of your face. Some very cute faces going on here. So I always contour my forehead, my cheeks, or I should say my cheekbones, and then underneath my face. It just gives more of a finished and chiseled look. And lastly, you can't forget your nose. I take a smaller brush to do this, but I just get the sides of my nose. And now I'm brushing off some of the baking powder. And going back in after the lid continues to fall with the blush shade out of this palette. And another way to add some more definition to your eyes is to take the darker brown color and put it on your waterline, instead of using a really harsh line like a black eyeliner, for instance. You're able to just give some definition and some pop. So next, I'm moving on to lashes, and I'll tell you right now, Duo glue is the best glue. I use the black glue because I personally think it bonds better, but you don't get as much grease with that glue. And if you don't let it get tacky, it just won't work. So wait 2 minutes to let it dry. And while you're doing that, you can move on to a mascara and just do a nice light coat. It helps your fake lashes blend better. And here we go. Now, I've been putting on lashes for years, and I will say I've gotten much better at them, but the goal is to put it on the middle of your eye and then move it out to the sides of your eye, so then that way the glue actually bonds and you don't get those weird half-hanging lashes halfway through the day. You get better at these the more that you try. And now I'm moving on to using a liquid eyeliner. You can use whatever liner you are most comfortable with. And practice makes perfect when it comes to liner. I feel like I've practiced this since I was in high school, but just learn your eye and see whatever works out best. Okay, hair's coming down. I am almost finished with the look. We're gonna go in with Anastasia lip gloss. This is the taupe color. This is by far my favorite. It's a little expensive, but you have to treat yourself every once in a while. And now I'm going in with a highlighting brush and the James Charles Morphe palette. He has a bigger color there. You can see it's just a shimmery color, and this is perfect for a highlight. And when you highlight, you do not need to go overboard. Just hit your cheeks a little bit, hit the middle of your nose, your cupid's bow, and your chin. Once again, just adding some extra definition and some shine. And that is the completed look. You can totally use a setting spray to help it stay all day, but thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.